Alright, welcome back to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, the ultimate destination for diving deep into the golden eras of gaming and collectibles. From classic consoles to timeless toys, this is where nostalgia comes alive. Today's journey takes a look back at one of the most iconic names in gaming history. A story of innovation, rivalry, and revolution. Yeah, get ready to explore the incredible history of the Sony PlayStation on our special Monday Christmas edition on this December 29, 2025. A Monday edition of Jay's Retro Toys and Games starts right now. Take it away. And we're hoping you are enjoying your Christmas break here, and we are as well too. It's Monday, December 29, 2025. I'm your host, Jason DeCanio, welcoming you to episode 89 of Jay's Retro Toys and Games. Continuing our look on the console wars timeline, we are getting close to that point where the newest toy, or the newest game, console, the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, is not possibly going to be on the list because it's not retro enough. What we mean by that is you have to have at least 10 plus, maybe 15 plus years since the time you launched your console to be concluded in the game console timeline. So the Nintendo Switch, as new as it is not as old as it really is. But there are other consoles that have been out for the last 20 years, and they actually now are the new retro consoles. And we have one that's still in the early 90s, and it's one that basically came out, and people still play it because they swear by it. And it's the Sony PlayStation. So in the early 1990s, the gaming industry was dominated by two giants, Nintendo and Sega, and both companies had carved out massive audiences with their 16-bit consoles, the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. Sony at the time was primarily known for its electronics and audio equipment, with no significant presence in the gaming world. However, a collaboration between Sony and Nintendo to create a CD-ROM add-on for the SNES would set in motion a chain of events that changed gaming forever. The partnership fell apart due to disagreements over licensing and control, leaving Sony's Ken Kutaragi, an engineer with a passion for gaming. He determined to continue the project independently, and his vision was to create a standalone console that would harness the power of CD-ROM technology to deliver richer, more immersive experiences than cartridges could ever allow. So in December 1994, Sony released the PlayStation in Japan, followed by a North American launch in September of 1995. So as of this recording, Sony PlayStation is now officially 30 years old. And the console's sleek gray design, futuristic logo, and innovative controller immediately set it apart from its competitors. More importantly, the PlayStation's use of CDs allowed developers to create larger, more complex games with full-motion video, high-quality audio, and 3D graphics that pushed the boundaries of what players had seen before. Titles like Ridge Racer, Tekken, and Wipeout showcased the system's technical prowess, while Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid demonstrated its storytelling potential. The PlayStation quickly became a cultural phenomenon, appealing not only to children but also to teenagers and adults, marking a shift in how video games were perceived. By the late 1990s, the PlayStation had firmly established Sony as a dominant force in the gaming industry. The console's library grew to include hundreds of titles across every genre imaginable, from platformers like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon to survival horror classics like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Sony's marketing strategy emphasized coolness and maturity, positioning the PlayStation as the console for a new generation of gamers. Developers flocked to the platform due to its accessible development tools and the lower cost of producing CDs compared to cartridges. By the time production ended in 2006, the original PlayStation had sold over 100 million units worldwide, making it one of the best-selling consoles of all time. In March of 2000, Sony launched the PlayStation 2, a console that would go on to redefine success in the gaming industry. The PS2 featured backward compatibility with PlayStation games, a built-in DVD player, and vastly improved graphics capabilities. It quickly became the entertainment centerpiece of millions of homes, appealing to both gamers and movie enthusiasts. The PS2's library was legendary, featuring iconic titles such as Grand Theft Auto 3, Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, and Final Fantasy X. The console's longevity was unmatched, with production continuing for over a decade, and by the time it was discontinued in 2013, the PlayStation 2 had sold more than 155 million units, securing its place as the best-selling video game console in history. Sony entered the high-definition era in 2006 with the PlayStation 3, and the console introduced the powerful cell processor, Blu-ray disc support, and the PlayStation Network, which allowed players to download games, movies, and connect online. However, the PS3's high launch price and complex architecture initially hindered its success. Over time, as developers adapted and Sony refined its strategy, the PS3 became home to some of the most acclaimed games of its generation, including Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, The Last of Us, and Little Big Planet. The system also helped establish PlayStation as a hub for digital entertainment, paving the way for the modern era of online gaming and streaming. Released in 2013, the PlayStation 4 marked a return to simplicity and developer-friendly design. Sony focused on creating a console that was powerful, affordable, and easy to develop for. The PS4 emphasized social connectivity, allowing players to share gameplay clips, stream live sessions, and interact with friends seamlessly. Its library of exclusive titles, including Horizon Zero Dawn, Bloodborne, Spider-Man, and God of War, solidified its reputation as a platform for high-quality storytelling and innovation. The PS4's sleek design, strong online ecosystem, and consistent updates help it dominate the 8th console generation, selling over 117 million units worldwide. And then 7 years after that, in November of 2020, they launched the PlayStation 5, ushering in a new era of gaming defined by speed, immersion, and realism. Powered by a custom SSD and advanced GPU, the PS5 drastically reduced loading times and enabled developers to create expansive, detailed worlds. The DualSense controller introduced haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, offering a tactile experience that deepened player immersion. Games like Demon's Souls, Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, and Horizon Forbidden West showcased the console's capabilities, while backward compatibility ensured that players could continue enjoying their PS4 libraries. The PS5 also embraced digital distribution, offering both a disc-based and a digital-only model to suit different preferences. Over nearly 3 decades, the PlayStation brand has evolved from a bold experiment into a cornerstone of global entertainment. And it has shaped gaming culture, influenced technology, and inspired generations of players and creators alike. From the humble beginnings of the original PlayStation to the cutting-edge power of the PS5, Sony's consoles have consistently pushed the boundaries of what games can achieve. The PlayStation legacy is not just about hardware or sales figures, it's about the memories, emotions, and experiences shared by millions around the world. And beyond gaming, PlayStation has become a cultural icon. Its logo, startup sound, and exclusive franchises are instantly recognizable symbols of creativity and innovation. The brand has expanded into film, television, and virtual reality, further blurring the lines between interactive and cinematic storytelling. PlayStation's influence can be seen in music, fashion, and art, reflecting its role as more than just a gaming platform. It is a lifestyle and a community. And as technology continues to evolve, Sony remains committed to pushing the boundaries of interactive entertainment. With advancements in virtual reality, cloud gaming, and artificial intelligence, the future of PlayStation promises even greater immersion and accessibility. The company's focus on storytelling, innovation, and player connection ensures that the PlayStation name will continue to define the gaming landscape for years to come. The story of the Sony PlayStation is one of vision, perseverance, and transformation. From a failed partnership to a global phenomenon, it stands as a testament to the power of innovation and the enduring appeal of interactive entertainment. Jay's Retro Toys and Games celebrates this legacy, honoring the console that changed the world and continues to inspire the future of play. And surely enough, Sony PlayStations will continue to stay popular as long as the audiences that embrace them will continue to support them. Episode 89 is done. It's finished. And we thank you for this special Christmas week of episodes all this week here leading up to, of course, our New Year's celebration. We hope that you are enjoying Season 4 in the Console Wars. We've come a long way, and we thank you for your continued support. We now stand at 271 subscribers. We will hope that you will continue to like, subscribe, and, of course, continue to support our show. And if you like these and other shows on Jay's All TV channel, we'd love to have you as part of our ever-growing family. Thank you once again. We'll see you the next time for another console history lesson, as they say. Till then, I'm Jason Icanio. Have a good night. Bye for now.